Hello, it's Garrett again. New week, new stuff to work on. I say new, it's still the same old project. Um, as you can see, I haven't touched it since we messed with it Friday. Um, but I did craft up some of the items that I was thinking that I was going to need. So we'll start with the final thinkerhead here. I actually crafted a few extras because I thought I might try and use one to cover up this in one piece rather than using several pieces of the obsidian rock. That maybe that would lessen up how much I need. But I kind of don't mind that it's a different kind of rock. I thought maybe that it would look a little odd that it's not the same bit, but I'm not sure I'm going to change it out. But I will be adding some little mounds of bits, I think. Let's wait, I forgot to do the reload. Thankfully, the temperature has gone down considerably, compared to last week. So I managed to not have to get up too early. I mean, I was up at 5 and did my walk this morning already, but I didn't feel rushed to get to the streaming this morning to beat the heat, because even though the sun's out and everything already, not too warm up here, even with the window closed. So that's about right. Anyway, as you can see, I've crafted myself several of these because I plan on using quite a few, but beyond just this last one here. We'll see about getting this squeezed in. Just kind of want to close this off. Is mainly the goal of it. And then I'm going to try and see how it looks with a double layer of glass. I don't know if that's gonna, because I think the more you layer it, especially this big, it looks more white, kind of like a misty, creepy it's not blue anymore, even though it's supposed to be blue glass. It looks less blue, in my opinion. But I'm going to try and see what it looks like with just the 2 layers. A little bit still but I kind of want to really indicate that there's something here besides just the ground. I want it to really be visible. But I don't want it to be like that misty, whatever. Now I could have, if I really wanted to try and squeeze one as some kind of a waterfall or something, but I don't think I really want to get into that. I just want to just indicate that there's a water line here, and that kind of gives explanation as to why this house is up on this. Okay, I did craft the bookshelves that I was talking about last week. That kind of reminds me of a boat. I've used them as little miniature boats. And I've seen a few others do something similar. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to combine two of them end to end to try and get the shape of the boat that I want. I really think they're too wide for what I don't want like a whole gaggle of people. It's supposed to be like, just a little one person kind of boat or canoe or something. But I'm going to use this as kind of a guide. Let's just kind of square it up here. And you can see about where the water is on it. You want it kind of in the water, but not like sunk down completely. You want to have it up a bit. And then we'll take the other one and not that way. Yeah. Just kind of gauging about the size and stuff. Maybe it'll be a size like that if I shrink it down enough. Something like so. That might work. And it uses fewer pieces than if I had made the item from just 2x4s as well. So that's always an advantage for this. I want it kind of there, but not like it. So then what I might do is what kind of bits do I have? Something to kind of cover this up maybe. I need to get a couple of these, but yeah, I may want to craft myself a couple more tablets. And since today I'm kind of wanting to maybe finish this up, I'll probably go and craft that up even while we're streaming. So like if I put one here and maybe one across the bow here and then another one here, that would like leave a gap. Or I don't know. Maybe this way. Just trying to maybe, I don't know if that looks right. What I'm trying to do is like make some seats or something. Maybe it'd be better this way. And just covering this part up here. So I probably need 4 to make 2 seats there, something like that. And then I don't know what could be like the oars. I know we've got the mop, but I think the end of the mop is going to be a little awkward. Because of that big wad of stuff on it. Not even sure how boat oars are supposed to look like. Is it like midway, endway, shortway? Something like that. I don't know about that. But this looks weird. But maybe I'll leave it just for. I really wouldn't know what to use as the paddle end. That would be thick enough to look like a paddle to cover up the mop there. Let me see. Maybe that's too big of that oar anyway. I'm just looking to see if I can change the shape of the mop. Something different. I don't think so. I think that would not gonna be not a good. So let me see. Copy. Something like that. I don't know if that looks kind of dumb or what. We'll leave it though. It's just kind of an indication that it's something. Let's see. We want another pillar style not work like I want, so let me just check that here. Probably the orange one is more of a yellow. Now let's on that one. I'm just wanting to make a little thing for the lantern on the boat, because we talked about how I wanted it to also have a now the reason I've got it here is so it's like it's already docked, so that, you know, if I put it mid-transport, then I would feel like I need like either a plushie or something behaving as if they're rowing the boat, but I don't really want to do that. Can I get in here? It's a really little simple boat doohickey thing. Guess we need another orange pillar for the other part. So it's basically just going to kind of mirror this, but it's going to be on the boat itself. I just wonder if I should put it on this end or that. I guess if the person is sitting here rowing, they would want it out here, because presumably that's the direction they'd be going, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Anywho, we'll do it like this. Copy. Paste. Again, it's supposed to kind of mirror the big one on the dock, but not, obviously not in size. That might even be too big. Might be what we want. Yeah, I think this is. Yeah, that looks pretty. Now the boat has some lighting, and that way when it travels to and fro, they can see what's going on. So I need to get another. Well, let me just see if I can get away with using the one, and I'll cover up this part here. Really just being kind of lazy today. I don't want to have to run back to the town. Just there we go. Something like that. I could, you know, maybe cover here or something, but just leave it kind of. Okay, as far as the other anchor ones, or like stones and stuff. I think we will one there, and here maybe two, and then one right there. Okay, I'm gonna check the size of this boat here. That feels about the right size to me. Granted, I know she can't actually put her legs down in there like an actual seat kind of thing, but that feels about a good size. I'll leave that. This door. Just to give some green here, I think. And kind of block that little gap thing off. Didn't have to, I just like I said, folks will probably hop up here and kind of see the rough edges in the back, along the sides and stuff that aren't covered, but that's okay. I think I might want to put one here with the viney bits kind of covering the hollow crypt there. I don't like completely blocking it, just in the rare chance that somebody figures out a way to kill themselves or something. I don't want to have them blocked off or locked up inside. I've seen a few do some clever little things where they cover it with a cage, and so when you rebirth there, then you're kind of like imprisoned. Because you can always get out of it by using the return to teleporter button on your housing bar down there, but I would just prefer not to do that. In this case, just want to kind of cover it. I don't want to block it completely. So it's there, but it's not like totally standing out. Visible.
Push notification.
Oh, that's Homer. Turn his sound off. Okay, and then another little batch. I'm horrible at landscaping, as you probably can tell. I'm just not very good at thinking up nice things for it. Bad. I know several builders that's their strong point. The landscaping. But that is not, definitely not mine. Oops. Just trying to add a little bit of interest here. The vine, extra mushrooms, and to kind of, I don't want it to look repetitively the same piece of moss showing in the same way. I'm going to mix it up a bit. So there's that. Okay. Can't really experiment with the lighting so much on this character. If we do that, I'll have to switch to the other one, but I may end up even having to transfer some money over to her to change that if I want to go to it. But I thought it might be fun just to kind of see what the other lighting might do. But first, I need to sort out the lighting here. I did craft some more of the Exile hanging lamps so that I can replace this one, the spots, with the lamps themselves. So probably one here. Let's just remove that one. Let's see. I imagine that is sticking up. No, it is. That down a bit. Again, I have to be thinking too about collision. I don't want people getting stuck under the light. So I think that looks better. Smaller. Let me see what the other size, because I think this one is actually bigger than others. 285, and this is the side ones. 50. So we might actually want to make this 50 side one. It doesn't give off a lot of light, does it? 60 seems to be better. It's all about the lighting. Looking at the shadow, the shape of the shadow, I don't want it to be the same, since this is supposed to be kind of in the middle of the room. And if one, it looks a little lopsided, then clearly it's not. pretty close now. Okay, so there's a light there. I'm just debating on whether or not I want to put 2 more here. But just double check these. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the kitchen's nicely lit. Day glow compared to the rest of the rooms. Bedroom seems alright. The bathroom, it was above here that I wanted to match this. So copy this one. Okay, I'm gonna check if this is like matching something in the kitchen. 504. Yeah. So this is at 273, so I'll check and see. There we go. Again, it's little things like that that people probably won't really notice, but I still go through the trouble of doing that. Now I'm noticing here how this wall doesn't exactly match up with this. And I think when I did have it lined up, it was sticking out kind of oddly on the outside, so I pushed it back in, so now I have to fix it on the inside, if I recall right. So we'll just pop that right there. In here. And then of course I have to repeat it for the inner wall. Of course, that means I have to readjust all of this, get it to fit proper. Just looking at the flashiness here. Don't want that. I'll fix that a little more. Okay, and then I have to move all this in. Let's see if we can get away with just linking it all. Just to kind of speed the movement up. I'll move it out. Okay, it looks like I'll have to resize the little hand towel there, but that's not a... I think that happens when you have something considerably smaller than it comes into the world naturally. Okay, and then we have to fix this. Something like that. And again, that was just to kind of, you know, give an indication that there's if someone's showering, the water's not just going directly into the rest of the bathroom. Quarantined off into that area. Now, if I really wanted to get picky about it, I would probably redo this and move it slightly over, but I'm not going to do that. It's already too many pieces and some complicated how I put it together. So I'm not going to worry about centering that. For someone that, you know, really feels like that's a necessity, you know, more power to them, but I'm okay with leaving it like that. Just looking here. Little details, I'm happy with them. You know, you could, if you want to add even more details, you could add some kind of a piece of soap here, maybe a toilet brush thing, holder, maybe a little rack for magazines or books for someone that's going to spend a little time there. Again, I could have added another table here. I think leaving it like so. Let's see where we at on the count. It's 891, so still got a little ways to do. So I'll probably go ahead and do another picture of some sort here. And because of that, probably add some extra lighting in here just to kind of showcase the paintings, I guess. But first, I really need to decide how I'm going to do the porch here. Do I just want to leave the one, or do I go ahead and add 2 extra? If I do 2 lights for the paintings and then 2, that means I need 4. So let me see how many I got. Of course, 3. 3 is what I have. So what I could do is see if I can get away with just 2 lamps on the porch. Always looking for a way out. Let's hanging lamp. And copy. And see how we're going to gauge where we are here. I'm kind of looking sort of at the center of this, maybe. And the arrow points at the center. And then do the same thing over here with this other one. And then we'll see how much light there is at the entrance. Now it looks like it's still going to need something. Maybe if I leave the sconce, make it smaller, that just kind of gives it a little difference for the door. Like here. Just depends on how much light it still gives off as it being small. Because again, if you can't tell, I'm like trying to avoid having to go back to the city to. Maybe if I put another one on this side, that'll kind of give it up, and it won't matter so much. There's a whole lot of light there. Maybe. so lazy this morning. I don't wanna. Case. So there, maybe that's okay. Not super brightly lit, but kind of just extra decoration for the door, rather than using the same lanterns, lamps, whatever you want to call them. These are going to bother me. I think I'm going to craft up something else. I'm guessing I'll probably need to do some doors. So we'll use the orange ones. It's gonna be fun. I'll use the mops as a guide to where they need to go, but I think I'm gonna fashion my own paddles. The mop heads just bother me and dorky. And I want it to be nice. I don't want to get sloppy just because it's the last few pieces. So let's see. We can copy this right onto it, make it match angle. That'll work pretty good. Sort of. Kinda, sorta. And then the same thing over here. Forgot to check the size. Okay, so correctly down. Something like that. Copy, paste, and then just where that is. There we go. I think it was just, yeah, it was one deep. Okay, and then get rid of the moppy bit. Okay, and then I need something for the paddle end. What to use for that? Probably the wooden triangles, maybe? Exile triangles would be best. Probably too triangle-y. That might not be. I think that might be a little too sharp. Looking at different wood pieces. can't quite think of anything off the top of my head that looks like a paddle. There's someone out there could probably think of something, but see. Let me just go through some of what we got here. Maybe it will trigger something. Quite look right either. The wall might work. Like, I don't know. I don't think any of them have like a wood look. I don't have a lot of them, do I? What about the judge's hat? It looks a little weird, doesn't it? Let me see. Just playing around safe here. A little, yeah, I wonder if I can copy the angle with that. I don't know where that thing go. Oh, it like made it super small. Copy the size or anything. Pull it down just a bit. Maybe that'll work. Sort of. Kinda, sort of. I hesitate to let go of it because it's under the glass, so that'll be tricky to get a hold of it again. Looking at the sizing, that looks okay, I think. Of course, you got that funny little end on the other side, but maybe if I'm gonna have to lift it from the list now. Judge's hat. That's the downside to the really. And I just like going all over the place. Let's see if I lift it up. A little bit. Better. I don't know. Definitely need a search for this. Hard to see because that stuff's blocking it. I think it'll be better. I mean, it's kind of. This almost, you could make a guitar out of that. Just use the short, stop at the handle here, and then you'll be able little guitar. Even if you flipped it over, I think it would look even more like a guitar. But we want paddles, so that's going to be my paddle. I think that'll work. And it just so happens I have an extra couple of those, so first things first, let's see. Ugh. Forgot to check the size. What is that? 107? Okay. Okay, now I gotta get it just right. Like so. And let's see, that part's kind of in the center of that, so we can get a good angle here. About like that. Looks a little better than the mop heads, I think. You know, maybe not ideal, but definitely, I think, better than that bit. Okay. With the boat, the pedals, the light, other lighting. Guess we can go see about doing that other painting, and then we'll see what we got left, and that'll determine what other extra doodads we stick around with. So let's see, we need 4 of the exile pillars. One, two, and let's go ahead and get those other hangings out. For these, I'm probably going to do a little bit different. I mostly just want them for lighting the paintings here. I don't necessarily want them overpowering the little lamps. So we can do here. I wonder if I'm going to have to use like a spotlight or something instead. I really don't want to put a big one there, but almost requires it, doesn't it? light just goes bye-bye, the smaller you make it. Oh well, something like that, I guess. Do that over here. And like that. And just copy the frame. And just start putting it together here. And to see about how thick that is. Yeah, I think it was just until the inner part was touching. I think we're good on that. Let's see if I can get clean. No 47. And then final time for the other side frame. There we go. So again, I'm left with trying to figure out what I'm going to fit in the picture frame. I kind of like how this one turned out. It's pretty simple. It's just nothing super fancy. I did think about adding like a fish here, but I think I'm going to leave it as if it's, maybe it's just a little terrarium with plants or something. I don't think I want to get too fancy with that. But I did want to add a kind of a sun here. Don't know if that'll look too kitty-fied, but we're gonna see how it looks. And then of course, push it in a little bit because you don't want the whole thing showing, just that might be alright. Maybe it needs to be a little bigger. Can't be too much bigger because again, that framework will be poking through. Probably already going to be showing through there, so probably big. Oh, might have got lucky because it's thick enough to cover that up. do have to drop it down some, picking out the top there. So something like that is like a sunny sky with. So what I had thought maybe would work is if we do a night scene on. So yeah, what to use this tonight? Excuse me. Ugh, yawning. I don't think we have too many things that are like strictly black per se, especially flat and black. Probably the closest we have is the travel posters, dark. But I only want to use one because I don't like the little line like it had the last time I played around with it. So we're just going to size up one and get it to fill up as much of part as we can. And that behave as our night sky. And then for a quick type of water, we'll use maybe the sleeping bag. Hey CK. You miss it, how come you're not working on it then? Did you stop playing? Okay, so definitely need to size that down. I'm probably going to have to use 2 of these because it just looks funny with the slant here. And I'm pulling it out a little bit to get an uneven edge here. Yeah, I'm probably going to need 2. Well, have you heard that it's going free to play in the fall? That might be a good time for you to decide to come back if you want. I know a lot of people are going ahead and subbing anyway, so that they can get the goodies that come with that. But I'm not sure. I want to say there's still the 10-day free trial that you can kind of sneak back in on, but 10 days really goes by quick, I would imagine. Let's get another sleeping bag here. Yeah, I'm imagining a lot of people will just wait. You know, it's not that they're too cheap, but not everybody can afford that extra cost. There's other things that they would probably prefer to spend it on. And that's understandable. I don't have anything against those that plan to stay free to play or whatever. There is a little bit of, you know, those that are subscription or whatever and plan to remain so. There's a few that kind of give that impression like they're going to think that they're a higher class citizen because of it, but I don't think that should be a factor. Honestly, I don't know. I don't check those markets. I don't buy cred or sell it. So I really absolutely have no idea. You could probably check the forum. I'm sure there's some threads discussing, because there's been some speculation as to whether or not that is going to go up with the increase of players and the free-to-play, or if it's going to go down. There's a lot of speculation, but I have no idea what it's going for at the moment. I imagine it's not super cheap, but you know, like I said, I really have no idea. Okay, so for a moon, we could probably use a plate. A simple white plate. And because I don't want that iffy line, I'll probably make it like a portion of a bed. To kind of so I don't know if that's going to work like I'm thinking, but yeah, something like that. Get this angle just right. There we go, something like that. But I'm gonna check and make sure that's not poking out the back there. Now I do notice that my sleeping bags are, so I'm gonna have to resize those. May have to use more than 2. Just to avoid them really piling up in the back. Let me just check the size. 31. Let's see if that's visible back here. No, much better. Okay, so probably need about let me see. That's like right at the top. It's like so snug. See if we can get away with 3-3. Yep, still good. We'll do that here too. Not jagged enough though, is it? Oh, let's see. Guess I'll get one more. But I really don't want that to be a solid straight line. I want it to be a little bit more organic, I guess. Something like that. Let's see. Just to kind of break it up a little bit. Maybe it's not water, maybe it's cliffs of no. That look weirdly crooked? I'm not sure. Okay, it's in some kind of trees. Now, we did have the, I think it was the finger trees. Yeah, finger flowers. I might could use here. Again, I have to worry about size and if anything's sticking out the back because I don't have that cabinet now. I have the fridge, but I don't know how tall it is. Oh, look. Yeah, it's not going to be tall enough to block all of that, so I want to be sure and make it small enough so that it doesn't poke through. Just a kind of a little night scene, kind of, you know, mirror the sunny one. Finger. Put in a couple more. Rotate. Again, just checking to make sure it's not sticking out the back. Copy another one, paste, and then we're going to change where it's. I'm just trying to thicken up the trunk of the tree and give it some extra oomph, I guess. There we go. And then one more. Something like that. Don't want the exact same composition, but you know, something a little different, unusual. Let's see, maybe one more. I don't know. Copy. Something like that. don't think I have anything bluish. There might be that crystal thing. Let me see about what that looks like. Buoyant blue crystal. The only bad thing about it is it moves. Excuse me. That one might be. Let's see. 2 gold, we can try it. We have to use quite a few of these because I'll have to really shrink that down to not sneak through so much. I don't know if you can tell what I'm trying to do, but like make it like a waterfall or something. Maybe that would be better the other way. Kind of picky because it's so jaggedy and doesn't quite want to match up with the lines that I have. Probably sticking out pretty good in the back as well. Thankfully, though, I think just the position I've chosen is kind of hidden by the fridge, so that's handy. And of course, the thing is hollow on the inside, so it doesn't work to my advantage there. So get another one of them, I guess. Oh, for crying out loud. Let's see if we can make pop. Don't know if it'll work like I'm thinking, but we'll try it anyway. Maybe it's a frozen waterfall or something. It's just an indication. It's not going to be exact. I mean, think of it as like somebody's painting. It's an interpretation of what you see. It's not going to be like a masterpiece. So if it doesn't come out that way, you know, it's no biggie. Maybe this too. A little bit, and then since we have these steps still, maybe we can use them in some way. I am not sure about that. I think we'll just leave it like that, kind of simple. Okay, so there you have the night and day kind of paintings. I'm sure there are those that can get a lot more elaborate. In fact, I've seen something in other places. I still have the one shelf here that needs something. What do we got? What do we got? Those tulips or table. Yeah, let's put kind of big and now I could go ahead and see about adding some extra length here probably. And that means I do have to go have some stuff. Not the end of the world per se, but the lamps are pretty straightforward. It's not one of those where you have to hit the mark just so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Okay. There we go. So 2 more hanging lamps, I suppose. Doing that bit again. Just doing a quick glance entrance here, how that looks. Yeah, it's like after an hour I've been playing, then it kind of gets laggy. Okay, so let's go to town and craft up some more of those lamps. Hopefully I have enough materials. If not, I will buy some. Okay. Yeah, I got enough. Make 12 of those things. I'm not gonna, but I could if I wanted. So 2 more lamps for the shelves. I think hopefully we're done with the lighting. Okay, and then there is, I have to switch characters because I have to mail it to my alt. Because I can't, if I created it from this one's inventory, it would go to her crate rather than my alt screen. I have to mail it off. Actually, gotta put something in the mail. Okay. Then we'll switch real quick. Hopefully it doesn't crash on me. Sometimes it crashes. Lately it's been mostly when I go to close the game. It gives me some kind of goofy error. Before it was even when I switched characters, it would do that. Now I'm going to another one because I don't have a mailbox up. Now I could install a mailbox on that on my alt spot, but I don't know. It feels weird. I really wouldn't know if I don't think any of the ones that we have really suit it. Maybe the Granok version, the fish, but even then it just kind of feels. So I think I will just leave it off. Oh, while we're here, I guess we can see if she can mess with the lighting. We can have a look at what it looks like with different lighting settings. So this, of course, is just a regular one. It's at night now, so it's pretty bright, but if we were to change it to, say, dark, how it would look. You can look at it from the windows, different windows, how it would be lit up. The roof itself looks pretty creepy because the lighting, how it hits on some of the surfaces, looks pretty bright. Excuse me. Looking at it from a distance again. Let's see if I've made it permanently dark. I would kind of emphasize that there's something out here. But it wouldn't necessarily, you know, take away from all of the detail that's inside because I have it so specifically lit up to highlight a lot of that stuff. I think that would be. Just double checking what looks in here. So that's dark sky that I could go with. I don't think I want to do anything like fireworks or anything. Hazy, no. Go with northern lights. Kind of a off pretty effect. You still get some of the lighting on the outside, but since I don't have the mountains here up high, they don't cast a strong shadow to contrast that too much. Kind of like having the nighttime permanently with the northern lights option, I think. Outer space just none of these others. Or maybe that's why it's wet here, because it rains all the time and it collects. And that just funny. And of course underwater doesn't suit it really at all. So it's either, you know, go with default sky or switch it to dark. don't know what looks better. I think the water makes a little more sense in the regular sky, in my opinion, but yeah, I think I'll just leave it at that. We'll switch back. Now, I could have went ahead and built on it with her, but we're just stay on carrot. I'm just that weird. I guess while I'm here, I could look at the grid, maybe. Okay, it's about 28 flat, I guess. Wow, that's pretty. It's of course, you know, cheaper than spending real money, I guess. Okay, so we'll head back to the housing. I'm out of water. And back to the neighbor. And we'll do a quick reload UI just to be sure. Okay, so I know it kind of doesn't make sense with the water and being able to walk on top of it, but kind of have to get past that. Okay, so I need to install the 2 lights here. What we'll do is we'll just put these here. I only just realized that one's sticking way up as opposed to that one here. So let's see. Where's the one? 960. Why is that one way up? Range. Almost too bright there, isn't it? Okay, move this over. Yeah, see, that kind of helps make the cabinet there itself pop a little bit better. Just a little bit. Just gonna line these up. No, they probably don't match, the size is different and all that, but because that's how I am. Okay. One. Yeah, that kind of brings that out a little. It'd be nice if you could just have some invisible lighting that you can place here and there. Kind of, you know, maybe if you have a square of lighting, just kind of set it up in the room or something. I don't know how that would be. Frustrating to have to deal with the lamps everywhere. So many lamps. I was fortunate that I was able to kind of hide these here because beams, but can't do that with these too easily because well, they just pick up the top if you don't have it right. Just checking about where, like I have these at different heights here. Some show the hook, some show the end. I'm kind of trying to get them similar. I also need to make sure they're not poking out through the top, I should say. Doesn't look like it. Make sure. That looks. So I want to make sure those are all consistent. Yeah, again, out here they're just showing the one little hooky part. Except that one. Let me see. Middle one. 993. I think what it might have been is some of these, when I've copied them, it's offset, so it's kind of changed some of the height. So I just need to kind of double check and same. Kind of lessens the light down below. These are different size, so I'm gonna like completely darken it up on those parts of the room. And of course, this. So what was that? 1093. And again, I'll double check one more time to make sure nothing's poking out the top. I think that was all of them. Looks okay. Alrighty. Ow. Cracked my wrist doing that. Okay, so that puts us at about, where are we at? 920 of 1,000. Excellent. Now, for some, they might go ahead and, put it right out to the 1,000. But my thought is I'm probably going to see about adding some holiday decoration. Not like super extravagant, lights everywhere and stuff, but maybe like a simple holiday tree and a gift, Where exactly I might put that, I'm not for positive. It might actually be something that I put here on the porch, like right here. just as a kind of a holiday thing. And if I do, because I plan to leave this up for quite a while, I don't plan to tear it down. So, like for the Halloween time of year, when it comes up into October, and we have the Shades Eve event, I might put some, pumpkins and things like that. And I want to leave a little bit of decor count to account for any kind of seasonal changes I might make to the place. So yeah, I think 80 should be plenty, hopefully early. Like I said, I'm not going to go too elaborate with the decorations, but it might be kind of cute to add that extra little bit to it when those seasons approach. But I think we're going to call it done. I didn't want to get too elaborate with the landscaping because one, I'm horrible at that. But two, that's not really the focus of this plot. The focus of the plot is the house itself. I wanted to put most of my effort into that. And again, it's still kind of simple in comparison to a lot of elaborate designs I've seen elsewhere. But again, I think we kept pretty close to our goal of fabricating everything from scratch, from the kitchen countertops to the plants even are kind of crafted themselves. The seating from all the chairs, the appliances in both the kitchen and the bathroom, all of that is special made. Like I said, the only few things that I've left as is some of the decoration for the shelf here. Things like the toilet paper. You don't want to special craft that, what's the sense in that? But, like some of the bottles and stuff. And then the main thing, the other thing is the filled trough, round trough thing. Everything else is either, and what I mean by the trough is the only item that I acquired by a different means other than buying it straight from the vendor or crafting it myself. Everything else is easily obtainable. I mean, everything is easily obtainable. I think the lights for the stove, those are from a housing challenge, but the majority is crafted from the architect trade skill or bought straight off of the housing vendor. And the idea behind that is I wanted to show newcomers, beginner builders, that you don't have to have the high level character to be able to create something unique, one of a kind. It's very personal how you put it together. That you have access to a lot of materials that you can use in combination with each other to create something special. And that you don't have to have all of the massive umbrella trees and the beer can piles and all of that stuff that's pretty rare or hard to get and costs, if you're going to get it, mostly you'd be getting it from the auction house, and you'd have to be spending plat here and plat there trying to get all of those items. Well, I've tried to show that you can fashion something that looks pretty nifty without going through that. I can't tell you how much I've spent. I mean, if you go through the videos of this whole building process, you could probably tally it up, how many items I have and how much their costs are, or the items that I crafted myself, you could probably tally up the cost of those. But I'm sure it's still fairly cheap It's not going to be like, I only paid a few silver for it, but it's definitely not going to be in like 50, 100 plat range. It's going to be considerably less than that. And so anyway, that was my main goal for this particular project, and I think we succeeded in that effort. Coming up with some nifty little extras like the porch swing and things like that you won't find on everybody's plot. Definitely, it's just something different, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. If ever they decide to give us some actual water decor that we can use in a fun way, then probably that would be best to use rather than the glass. But then again, maybe the water decor is for all I know, it's cash shop only item, and not everybody's going to want to pay real money for a feature like that. So this is a cheap alternative. It may not have the the oomph, the pizzazz that an actual working water where you can actually swim around in it does, but for the look, it's not that bad. So I think we'll wrap it up for today. Tomorrow we will be getting started on the CBDC project. This month's theme is a monument to commemorate our guild's first-year anniversary, and I'm contemplating doing either a full-body statue or just a bust of our guild leader. We'll see how that turns out. That's my tentative plan for now. Whether or not that really comes about, I think it'll be determined on how hard it is to kind of get shapes like you want them, because it's not like you're molding clay. You're having to do these solid, immovable objects and trying to position them in just a kind of a way to get it to match up how you want. And it'll be kind of tough to. I've got some screenshots of his character to kind of use as reference, but we'll see how that goes. But we're going to start that up tomorrow. I don't want to get straight to that because, for one, that's going to be on a different plot. That'll be back on Celery's because that's the one I use for the CBDC stuff. But I think we'll wrap it up for today. I appreciate everyone that's been dropping in during this particular build, offering their suggestions and feedback on, how it looks, what's working, what isn't working, and that kind of thing. I hope that if you come and watch these videos or have been coming to the stream and lurking and stuff, I hope this gives some inspiration for your own projects. Definitely, you don't have to do something full-blown like this. You could start off small, just build yourself a single appliance, and do the small projects first. Is my advice, just to kind of get the hang of working with the tools, understanding how you can combine items to make it look different. And the more of that you do, a little project here, a little project there, before you know it, you'll be ready for a full-blown project. You don't have to leap into the big thing. I think a lot of people get a little intimidated by thinking about what all goes into a full plot build, and if you tend to be that way, my best suggestion is start small. Use a pre-built home and then decorate it with pieces here and there that you've done yourself. That's the best way to get the hang of it, get into the mindset for it, and as you practice, other things will come to you, more ideas, and you'll eventually find yourself thinking, well, I can try this next time, or maybe if I change up this, then I can do that. It's just kind of becomes kind of a fun hobby. The nicest way to say it. It becomes more like an obsession for some of us, but a fun hobby is good. It's a good time passer if you're not into the hardcore raiding and stuff. This is definitely a good way to pass the time. Doesn't mean that hardcore graders don't have awesome houses. I know there are some that are out there, but for a lot of people having too many things to do, it gets a little scatty. They'll like start a project and then they never finish it because they get sidetracked by so many other things. But for someone that's just looking for a casual kind of activity to do when they have a free moment, housing is definitely a great escape in that regard. So I thank you all again for watching, for the support, for the follows, um, and hopefully you'll join me for the next project, which again will be starting up tomorrow. As a reminder, Wednesday, 1 p.m. CET time will be my usual housing tours. This week is Dominion's turn, and I already have let's see, got it somewhere here. Yeah, I got a whole list of possible homes. I try to keep some extras on hand as far as like if I have trouble visiting one, it gives me that player does not exist error or something. And I always like to have a few backups just in case that happens. But all of those that are on my list, I keep them on the list until I actually manage to get them into a tour episode. But slowly I've been going through all of the list that I have on the forums just to kind of double check and make sure people haven't changed their theme or closed up for good, or I've had a few that build some really cool stuff and then they just kind of crate it all and you don't see anything new for a month or so. But I've been going through that and I've been noting down the ones that I actually specifically still want to tour. So if you're on the list and you don't have a video made, hopefully eventually I'll get around filming your place. Because I definitely want to catch some before their owner does decide to create it all or gets rid of the character or whatever. Anyway, that's Wednesday, 1 p.m. CET time, Dominion housing tours this week. But tomorrow we'll be back on the side project, the CBDC thing on celery. So until then, I hope you have a great day. Hopefully the weather is nice where you are. Seems pretty good here, so I'm assuming it's probably pretty good for most in this area. And have a great day. Happy housing. Bye bye.